Hi there, wig lover. This is Heather from CysterWigs.com, and today I'm bringing you a wig review of a completely hand-tied lace front, yes I said lace front wig, from the Amore line. This one is called Veronica, and the color is called Ginger Brown. Now, as I may have mentioned in other reviews, ginger brown and toasted brown are basically the same color in the Rene of Paris color palette. The only difference is with toasted brown, the darker of the two colors is like a base color, with the red color is sort of like a highlight, and with ginger brown, those colors are blended together. So that's why this one looks kind of like a chocolatey brown. Chocolatey browns, if you'll recall me saying before, always have kind of like a red undertone to them. They're very, warm and rich, and they look like milk chocolate a little bit. So ginger brown is no exception. It's a really nice sort of chocolatey brown color. So yeah, let me talk about this wig. Its pros, its cons. We'll talk some specs. I'll show you the cap. You know the drill. It'll be fun. So, okay. First impressions of this wig. I think it'd be cute on the right person. For me, Amore wigs fit a little tight. So that was my first impression getting this one on my head was, oh, it's an Amore wig, it's tight. That's right. I do think it's well made, and I'll show you the cap when I take it off. It doesn't look like most hand-tied wigs. So if you're used to like a John Renault hand-tied wig or something like that, it looks a little different. I'll show you when I take it off. It's a little plain, but it's an Amore wig. Amore wigs are meant to be, conservative, kind of like the wigs you can wear to work without anybody knowing, so that sort of thing. Tuck it behind your ear. No one's gonna know. It's a wig. So if you're not a flashy person, which not everyone is, I kind of am personally, I'm very much like the bedazzleicious kind of person, but if like look at the appliques on my shirt. So I mean, but if you're not like me and you want something that's a little bit more subdued, something a little more natural and conservative looking, this may in fact be right up your alley. I do wish, just a side note in terms of cap construction, that the ear tabs had a little bit of a stiffer metal in them, because the metal that they use in the ear tabs is a little bit flimsy, and I have to keep double checking to make sure that it's lying flat against my head. Now again, I have a big head. This kind of wig and most of the Amore wigs are not really intended for somebody with my cap circumference, which is 23.5 inches. So that might just be a side effect of that, but just, for personal preference sake, I wish that the ear tabs were a little sturdier. I really like that. It helps me feel a bit more secure in my wigs. But other than that, I actually like this one, I give it like a B-ish, if I were grading it. So let me go ahead and turn around so I can show you what Veronica looks like on all sides. What? So let's talk some specs. The bang on Veronica is supposedly 4 inches. I would say it's considerably longer than that in parts. It's a very layered front. So, take that measurement with a grain of salt. Some parts might be 4 inches, but as you can see, it's a little bit feathered. So there you have that. You may be able to cut a bang into it, or have a stylist cut a bang into it on your behalf, but it does come out of the box with the bang sort of swept off to the side, so that should give you an indication there. It also shows that in the product pictures, by the way, that the bangs are swept off to the side. The crown down is 10.5 inches, and the nape is 4, so it's definitely shorter in the back. The weight is 3.2 ounces, and it's definitely got a very natural, light amount of hair density. The fiber feels really nice. The hair on these Amore wigs feels very nice. Now, I could kind of feel some of the cap construction through the wig as I'm playing with it, because the hair is so straight and the density is so light. So that's just one thing to keep in mind when you get it on. Don't be too self-conscious if you can actually feel some of the bumps, because you shouldn't be able to see them. I can't see them, and you'd be able to see them, you know, with the sheen on a dark color like this. But I can definitely feel them when I gently tap down on the top of the cap. So there's just something to throw out there. Let me go ahead and take this one off so I can show you what the interior of the cap looks like. Now, like I said before, this one won't look quite like any of the hand-tied wigs you're probably used to seeing. Let's start with the back. It does have a really nice extended felt nape. It adjusts in the back kind of like a bra, and it's not very stretchy at all. Look at that, not at all. Not at the perimeter. So like I said, it fits very tight on me. Closed ear tabs. Like I said, the ear tabs are small and they're a little flimsy for my liking. You know, so, you know, just throwing that one out there. I would say that this lace front isn't necessarily super scratchy. I would also say that the monofilament top is it's not, it would be a lot better if it were like other Amore wigs and it had that double monofilament top that was like really nice and silky to the touch. And instead it's sort of like there's the lace front and then it goes back and it could be seamless. You kind of get the impression it could be a completely seamless transition between the lace front and the mono top, which would be delicious, and they should totally have stuck with that. And instead they added this extra piece of material that looks like, you know, Charlie Brown's sweater, and it's like, why did you do that? You know, I guess that reinforces the knots, makes it a bit more durable because the knots aren't rubbing right up against your scalp. But you know, if they were going to add this extra bit of material, why didn't they make it soft material like they do on the rest of their caps? You know, just a theory, just an idea there. So here's what it looks like from the top down, and it doesn't look bad, you know. And it could potentially, like, if you know what I mean with these dark knots, but it doesn't really, you know. It's just the knots aren't really that easy to see, which is kind of a bummer when you pay for a hand-tied wig. You sort of want to be able to see some of that monofilament popping through. Now you can see it in the front because the knots aren't quite as dense. Other than that, I would say that this is a well-made wig. The back of the wig is also very densely threaded. You know, it's not one of those things where like you're hurting for more hair. You definitely get a fair amount of it back here. So it's a nice wig. It's not my favorite hand-tied wig, I'll put it that way, but there's a reason why it isn't as expensive as a lot of the other hand-tied wigs on the market. And I think I've more or less gone over most of those reasons in this review already. So let me go ahead and put this one back on, because just remember, sometimes you get what you pay for. So, alright, putting this back that way, and I'm gonna comb her out just a little bit, adjust the ear tabs, and I'll show you the lace front again too once I'm done combing her out. Again, this is a really conservative bob, but she has these really nice razored ends which help her look a little bit more modern. And that's a nice touch. That way she doesn't look dated. So let me show you the lace front here before we end this review. It doesn't have a contour to it or anything like that, but it's not a bad lace front. The knots are really nice and small, and it goes temple to temple. Now you can kind of see here where that seam is in between the rest of the cap and the wig, but the hair just sort of falls naturally over it. So unless you lift it up intentionally at that spot, you're never going to be able to see it. And if you are self-conscious about that with one of these darker colors, just take a brown Sharpie, color in that seam. You'll never see it. So there you have it. This is the CysterWigs review of the Veronica wig by Amore in the color Ginger Brown. I'm Heather from CysterWigs.com, coming at you with lots of full form wig reviews just like this one this season, as well as lots of color spotlights to help, you know, satisfy your need to see lots of colors. Hopefully I'm hitting everybody in the sweet spot, you know, this time around, because I want to help you make your shopping experience a little bit easier. So I've been reviewing lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff. So hopefully you find it helpful. If so, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and show your support by checking out my wig site. It's just CysterWigs.com, also known as CysterWigs. Thank you for watching and have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.